and then we'll do introduction. All right. Probably my stream is up. Yep, it is live and kicking. And yes, you can see this is going to be another edition of PugCast. This time with yet another great guest. Today I have honor and blessing, in some sense, to have as my guest on PugCast famous speedrunner, famous roulette player, few times champion. I want to say 2 time probably, but you can correct me on that. And an admin, a caster, and amazing human being overall. Yannini, hello and welcome.
Hello, hello. Very lovely to be on. Thank you very much for the invite. I hope to, love to those words. But yeah, thank you very much. I actually have won 3 times, but not sure that matters all so much. It's all was in the dinosaur age.
Okay, 3 times. Okay. Yes, Fly, if you will win Red League, you will be my guest. Yes, it
That's
is.
how that works. Yes.
Yes, I'm only talking to winners, not losers like you. Anyway, my first question, as always, is who is Yannini before all of that? Before Hitman, before speedrunning, before all of that? Who is Yannini before all of that?
Now that's a really interesting question because if you mean me as a person or me as a gamer or
Overall.
overall. Interesting. I'm not sure Hitman itself. Like, I can start from a game perspective, right? Because I mean, by now I've played Hitman for like 6 years, right? I mean, I've been in this community for 6 years nearly already, and I've played for another half year or so. So it's a really long time. Like, it's more than a fourth of my life, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
So, so that's a lot, and of course that meant that first of all, I mean, before I've played games all my life, kind of, but most often, like, I've played one game a lot, and then some smaller games on the side, really. But it's always really been a main focus of one game. And so, of course, in school, I had Minecraft for a few years, and then League of Legends, and now Hitman. And so it's just been like become a big obsession of mine since I've joined the community, and then yeah, it never really let me go. There's been some ups, there's been some downs, but overall I've always really enjoyed it. And then Hitman itself didn't really change a whole lot about the person Yannini, but the community definitely did. There's a lot of factors at play there, of course, because I mean, when I joined the community, I was 17, I want to say. No, I was 18, but no, 17 actually. But yeah, so of course it's some important age, and like back then I just was like kind of fresh out of school, and personality wise, it's definitely like especially the first 3 years, I want to say, in the Hitman community, kind of like evolved my personality, I want to say, because I mean, there's a lot of factors there. Like, there's the Hitman community aspect. There's the me, starting to cast aspect. Because I was always really shy and didn't really talk a lot. And now, like, ever since I started casting, I've become known for like sometimes rambling and talking too much, even, which is just something I would never have. No one ever would have said about me before. So it changed me a whole lot. And then now I'm like, by like interacting with people on the daily basis, both in text and also like on voice, it really like helped me socially, and also my English as well. Because when I left school, my English wasn't very good, but then I started watching like shows in English and whatever, and I had to chat in English in the Discord, so that really helped a lot. So it's definitely been very beneficial for me, this whole Hitman journey.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking about speedrunning aspect, because I want to say you are a speedrunner first, and then you became a roulette player. You still have few records on speedrun.com, and one record is kind of interesting for me because it was a recent one, and it was in the game called The Cure, because I saw you play it with Infofan a few
That's
times.
true.
Yeah, and now you have a record in it, like first place. So, can you tell us why this game? What's so specifically fun for you in this game?
Oh, I definitely can. I would quickly I can a small side tangent. I think it's really interesting to me that you said I'm a speedrunner first,
Mhm.
because I don't really think that's true.
Mm.
Interestingly enough, I started when I started playing Hitman. I never speedran anything before, or even considered doing that. Um, but it became quite natural while playing Hitman, because if you're good at Hitman, then you play Hitman fast, and so you're kind of speedrunning automatically.
Mm-hmm.
So when I joined, it was in January 2020, when the first RR was just over,
Mm-hmm.
and I immediately started playing in the Ghost Mode tournament, and then the next RR in April. So I don't think I really was a speedrunner before being like a tournament player. But I think I like definitely back in 2020 still. I played a lot of contracts and stuff, and then also try to like complete the main missions fast, just because it's kind of involved out of enjoying Hitman and looking for new challenges. But that's just as a side note, because I thought that was an interesting phrasing. But let's come back to the crew. Yeah,
Yep.
because that's really interesting. Because I played it a few years ago with Curry and Infofun and Pidgey. Like because we have kind of a fan group
Mm-hmm.
for like 5 years now even, and sometimes play games together. And it's and then I think the crew is quite a famous example of a game that's been shut down, right? Because the servers have been shut down.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of maybe the most famous example of that. Like one of the reasons that the Stop Killing Games movement came up so
Mm-hmm.
much.
Yeah, yeah.
But now for a few months there's been like a similar to Peacock in Hitman. There's been like a replacement server kind of where you can play it again now, because you can only play it online as well. So
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't play the game at all, and now you can again. Only solo at the moment, even though it's a co-op game, but they're working on a co-op version as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so we got to play it again recently, and of course that's hype. So we did some runs and encouraged each other to set some good times. Um, but if you want to know why that game specifically, it's just a funny coincidence, because I'm not sure if you checked out Infofun's YouTube channel, but like his oldest videos are all the crew.
Mm.
Like he was a crew speedrunner before he became a Hitman player. Like before he was anything else, he was a crew speedrunner. Um, and he still has records there. And I didn't know that about him,
Mm-hmm.
but I think someone of us suggested it one time, and it's really funny because I'm not really a car person, and it's a racing game, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But this is actually the only racing game, kind of, I ever played and really enjoyed, independently of that. So it was really funny when we figured out, like, oh my god, you also played the crew, and like you
Mm.
even speedran it. So that was a really fun coincidence, and of course, then we played quite a bit of it together. But I think the crew is just really compelling to me, even if you're not that much into driving, because I'm not sure how much you know about it, but it kind of models the whole of the USA a little
Mm-hmm.
bit in a nutshell. Like it's a big open world map, but it feels like it's just nice to drive around and have different cities and whatever. And it's just such a well done game. Like the story is really nice actually, and all the different missions, and just driving around in the game is fun. And it's like faction missions that you can like anywhere of length between like 3 minutes, and the longest one is 4 hours, where you drive around the whole map. There's always something to do there, and uh, that made it really enjoyable. I can't really explain the factor that makes it really special. but but it really is. And when I discovered that Fun also played, then we also got Curry and Pidgey in, and then this was really fun to play as a co-op game. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. About that side note you made about speedrunner then roulette player, I want to say I said that because that was kind of like my perspective on you because
Yeah.
heard your name first. I want to say I saw you in IGN video talking about Hitman speedrunning, and you were one of the like I don't know like tech guy or something like this. You were one of the presenters to explain the techniques used in speedruns. So that's why
Oh,
I thought,
interesting. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that's. I mean, that's fair, right? Because if you didn't know about the community before, then that
Hmm.
makes a lot of sense. I don't think I did that. I mean, I appeared on Games Done Quick, right? On Summer Games
Oh
Done
yeah,
Quick,
yeah, that might be yeah
2021.
GDQ. Yeah, that might be
Yeah,
GDQ. Yeah, yeah, yes.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's exactly in summer 2021. I did a run there, which was kind of random to be honest, because like as I said, I didn't really speedrun before, and then just in 2020, I speedrun a little bit of the game, and then of course 2021, early 2021, Hitman 3 came out, and I was like, okay, I might as well, try to speedrun this as well. And then no one really, I was like, I mean, surely someone will do a run, and then I just applied to GDQ. Didn't really think I would get accepted because it's like I don't know 1 or 2% of nominations get accepted. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, that's really cool. I mean, Hitman it was a really big release, of course, but I was still surprised about that because I haven't really have a insane track record or anything. Just streamed it a few times, but that was really fun. And out of my depth, I was insanely nervous about that. Playing in front of like 60,000 people. Um, and the nerves definitely showed. Like I was definitely a lot younger as well. Which also, at that point I was still quite a bit shy, and then streaming to all these people and uh, trying to not to fumble too much was really difficult. But it really was a great experience because it helped me so much. Because it really like from that point onward, if you were in that situation, you aren't really nervous about a lot of things anymore. Because like if you have a performance in front of that many people, then most other things aren't that big of a deal anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually, speaking about Hitman franchise, did you play any Hitman games apart from this one cartoon?
Uh, oh, I mean, as I said, I started in 2019 when Hitman 2 was out, and I
Mm-hmm.
played that, and then I played Hitman 3 when it came out. But I never really went back. I mean, that's not totally true. I like before that I played like a few hours in one or something.
Mm.
So like um but basically but not really. I never went back and played the old games. I tried starting uh Blood Money once, but it was really clunky.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't do that. I probably will at some point. Uh maybe. But I think the world of like the thing is the world of Assassination Trilogy I think is such a I like it so much in the things that it does. That because the older Hitman games are quite a bit different, even if the formulas are similar.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would just kind of compare it automatically and then, would enjoy it less. But I might give it another shot again at some point.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. Now, to speak about at least a little bit about the community, because you already told how you came here, how you like when you came here, but I want to ask you about uh, because there's a lot of stuff going on. I want to ask you about your favorite community event. It's maybe not like this year, but overall, like, what do you think, apart from Red Rivals, obviously, what is your favorite community event?
That's not easy to answer because there's been a lot of different things, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you ask me community events, well, I have to say that, of course, our LAN is a bit exempt from all of that because it's like a very special thing. That's it's a week long, it's IRL and whatever, and I organized some of bias, of course, but that was really special. But I'm gonna exclude that, I think, because it's not really in the spirit of the question.
I
But I
it's
mean that
mm,
I don't know. It
yeah.
would be the obvious pick, because of course it was. It's not comparable to anything else because while everything else was really fun, it's not just not on the same level, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it's still interesting to think about like what my other favorite event would be, aside like online hosted event, and I don't really know. I really enjoyed always playing in community events, and I always enjoyed hosting them. I mean, I hosted a lot of community events. Um, but uh, I think it mixes good. I also, we kind of got burned out with Providence. We hosted so many events, it was just way too much. But there's been some great ones there. It's really, really hard to pick a favorite because there's things like bingo, which I really enjoy the idea of, but it's just which is fun to play sometimes, but in a tourney, it's just so much work, and it doesn't really work all that well.
Yeah.
And then there's so many roulette-based events that all like come with a slight twist that are often really enjoyable. I think the most enjoyable roulette variant for me, like is improv roulette was always really fun. But then of course team roulette as well, because just of the social aspect, you don't have to playing alone like every other time you play roulette, but you actually have to play and coordinate with someone else. Those are always my favorite roulette events. And other than that, I really enjoyed the premise of, I'm not sure what it was called, but we had like an event where we had like all the different game modes. We have like 5, 6, 7 game modes, all in like one tournament, like a Olympics kind of thing.
Oh.
That was a really fun concept, really hard to execute. I think we did quite decent with it, but it's of course like not as great as it could have been. But I really enjoyed the concept of that. But yeah, so you see, there's a lot of great options. But maybe in the end, it's actually, because for all the roulette events that are really great, probably as a community event, the most I enjoyed was always these contract wars down to the wire type thing, like we always did in the recent IOI event, because those are quite different, but really, really fit this one day event style quite well.
Yeah. Actually, speaking about team roulette, I noticed that there was not a single team roulette tournament or like I don't know competition for a long time. Any chances that it can go back at least in the next year?
I think so for sure. People really like team roulette, rightfully so. In my opinion, that's why. I mean, I can't believe it was last year already. I had like a few team roulette events last spring, summer, I want to say. I think we had like a team roulette 5, and then another like a trilogy roulette race, relay edition, with teams as well. So, and then another Triller roulette race with like also in team version. So we had that last year. And then we kind of, got forgotten again because I think it comes in phases, like if people want to know, oh, you guys want to do a team roulette, and then yeah, it's actually a great idea, and then we do it, and then everyone wants more, and then at some point it fizzles out again. But if there's interest, I would be interested in doing one again for sure if the time is right. There's a lot of other things to do, of course, with organizing next year, but I think there's definitely will be time for that. So if there is interest, there's definitely a chance that could make a return. Yeah.
All right. Once again, speaking about the community, you considered to be one of the greatest, right, player, if not the greatest. That's some opinion. But I
I don't
want,
think so.
but I want you to name top three roulette rivals players of all time.
Well, I mean, of course you can just go based on stats,
Mm-hmm.
and I do think like if you put someone in there, they have to have been a tournament winner, of course, because we had so many tournaments now that I think everyone who like was on a high level for a long time all like got their titles. So I think that just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really interesting because we had so many different eras, I want to say. We had this early era where it was like Frody, Ducker, me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe fun as well. I mean, he only won one tournament, but it was the World Championship, so that
Yeah.
definitely counts for a lot. But then again, fun has been consistent through all the eras, so I don't think that's really count all that much. And then we had the Fanium, uh, and then Scruffy, uh, and of course some sprinkled in between, like like no, Danny. I wanted to say Fanium and Danny was like kind of the second era, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Fanium, Danny, and then the third era I want to say is like Scruffy and Moo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I mean, I already kind of narrowed it down to those 8 players. For me, have to be like up there. I do think Scruffy is the most well-rounded roulette player of all time. Uh, of course, it's easier to say players from like the most recent era.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, because of recency bias, and second of all, because it is for sure harder to be good at the game or to win matches and tournaments the longer the life cycle of this whole hitman community and roulette is, because the people don't get worse, they only get better, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it always gets tougher. So but even aside of that, I think Scruffy is so insanely well rounded. He is one of, if not the fastest player, incredibly mechanically. He executes just super well, but he's also so smart about it. Always can jump right into it. Always has a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Has few knowledge gaps, and he also is quite consistent. He's like kind of the whole package that every roulette player would wish they would be. Of course, he can also stumble, as we saw this year. He did not win all 3 titles, but he won 2 out of 3. So I mean,
Yeah.
that already tells you a lot about the man. And now at WC especially, he really surprised me with how like he sacrificed some of his speed, which I might have said previously, because that's like maybe his one, like if there's any weakness about him, that's it. That sometimes he tries to go a little too fast.
Mm-hmm.
But like in RWC, he slowed down just a notch. Like he's still faster than 95% of the players, but he's so consistent now. Like he doesn't rip. And I mean, that's what won him the title, really. But I was really impressed with that transition, because, of course, that is what we all strive for. If you are a great roulette player, you want to be as consistent as possible. So I do think Scruffy is number one. Probably not the climactic version to start with the very top, but I do think it's the most obvious and the easiest choice.
Yeah.
Put Scruffy up there. And then second and third, it's a bit tougher,
Mm-hmm.
because you want to say like, oh, is it skill overall? Is it skill now? Is it over the whole career? And maybe I am biased, because of course these things are very personal. And then you have Daka, who won the most titles with 6, but plays for console most of his time, and he was very dominant on console, of course. But I comparatively, I wouldn't put him in the top 3 for sure. And then, I mean, next is Fanium and Scruffy with 5 titles, and Scruffy, as I said. And then it feels really mean to exclude Fanium, but I don't know. I think I always underrated him, which is not fair to him, but I can't help myself that even while he was so dominant, I wasn't ever that impressed with him as I was with Scruffy, so to say. But I still think he really is up there. But it's such hard to say. And then Danny Buta was always like, when Danny Buta was at his prime, he was basically the Scruffy, right? We all thought he
Mhm.
was unbeatable. But in retrospect, that isn't really that true, and it's hard to say because he then just stopped playing. So it's also hard to justify that. But uh, then we have Infofun, who I would put in the top three, I would say, just because he has been at the top level for so long,
Mhm.
which is something that no one else really did. Like, I mean, I won my 3 titles, then I wasn't really interested in the game a lot anymore. Didn't really play a lot. Also placed really badly in tournaments, and now like kind of last year and this year, I played more again, became better again. I mean, this year was excellent for me. Fifth and fourth place. Oh no, fifth, fourth and fourth, whatever. But um, uh, great finishes. So it's great for me, but it's like not on the same level as someone like Infofun, so I put him there as well. And I think to round out the top three, it's really hard to put Moo. I think Moo is an incredible player, and I'm so happy for him that he won his first title this year because he really deserves it.
Mhm.
Um, but since there's only one title yet, like if you ask me this question again in a year, I think Moo will be on there if he keeps playing. But right now, I don't think I can justify him on there. So I think it would be Scruffy, then Infofun, then Fanium.
Mhm. Okay, nice. I always asking that question, everybody, because I want to say that's going to be a safe pick because I heard a lot of top trees, and you, Infofan, and Scruffy is always at some capacity, or like, or maybe just two of those three, or like at least one, but is in the everybody's top three. So you probably are top three greatest player of all
I
time
mean, I'm
for.
surprised about that, but I mean, it's not like I won't take that. But I mean, to be fair, I think in the first 2 years when I was playing, yeah, I was playing a lot during
Mhm.
those times, and of course with a lot of experience comes good results. Um, but I was really enjoying that, and I do think I performed very well in those 2 years. But it's kind of hard to see myself put myself in that category overall when so many years have passed since then. But maybe next year I can finally win a title again, and then then I might be able to see myself in there as well. But I'm glad to hear that people think I deserve to be there. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, you totally deserve it. And yeah, let's hope that next year will bring you at least one title. But let's strike for more because you never know what can happen.
For sure.
Yeah. And actually, speaking about Scruffy, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but we with the guys cast the final for Russian-speaking community with the help of Karma Koala. He's like famous speedrunner or something. And we actually even said at the stream that this is great showcase for Hitman and for Hitman Roulette and what approaches can be done because the enormous is like cool. He's calm, he's collected, he's like playing safely, not to rush or something like this. And Scruff who just hit play and just rush over the rail, he's rushing through the spin. So that was actually a great showcase. And yeah, as you said, he kind of slowed down a little, but he's still like this. He just see the spin and just go. So that's actually yeah, very true. And yeah, speaking about the Scruffy, I remembered one funny thing. I want to say that was in the match that I casted. I want to say that was in RR16 in Santa Fortuna that he did for the first time Jorge poisoning with the cocaine bus. That was so funny
Mm.
because he doesn't do that at all and he doesn't know how to do that. And he did it in the
Oh
match
yeah.
first time. That was so funny.
I can believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Once again, speaking about the community and especially Red Rivals, uh, I kind of want to ask you this question. I know that current rules are kind of cool, right? But
Mm.
if there is just one rule that you should change or add or ban or whatever for the next red trials, what that should be?
Ooh, wow, interesting question. I mean, is this a question you ask a lot of people?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
That makes sense to me because you know I think it's an interesting question to think about for many people.
mhm,
It's funny the question to me because you know I'm kind of like I mean mm, for most years now. I mean maybe not as much this year, but like for the last 3 to 4 years of you know of course I've like led the organizing of the you know of the next RR always and like kind of led the organizing of the rule set. So
mhm,
uh, most often if I wanted to implement a change, I would push for it. So
mhm. Yeah, you're in
that
position
of
of power. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it is. I mean, of course, not all of the ideas I had or all of the things I supported actually made it. You know, that's why we are a team.
Hmm.
Um, so of course there are things uh, that that you know I really wanted and didn't really get in the end. But I think most of these things were a few years ago. Um, most like it was also interesting because we had a different team back then, right? We didn't have the roulette council,
Hmm.
and not everyone was invested in the same way in roulette anymore. And like we had definitely differing opinions on how like the future of roulette should look like. So there were quite a few things that were where I was like, I wish this change wouldn't have made it, or you know, I wish this change would have made it, but it didn't happen. So there's a few times where I wished like we would just do something like that. Um, but then we you know implemented the Red Council and had like a organizational shift, and now I think it's much more clear in which direction we want to take roulette, and we have like can have more focused uh, exchanges, like productive exchanges mm, about you know what's best for roulette. And I pretty much agree with most of them. Like the format change we did this year was really cool, and I didn't think this would you know ever happen. So I'm really happy about that. Um, and you know I've kind of pushed for everything I would like to see. So I don't really think I can think of anything right now.
Hmm.
Like, I'm pretty happy with the roulette rule set as it is. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't. The one thing I would like to see, like I think Fun and me are big fans of it, but it's hard to implement at all because I mean we already have so many you know organizational challenges.
Hmm.
But I still do really like the idea of a roulette rivals World Cup, you know, where it's actually
Mm.
where you actually represent your country and you have like regional qualifiers and whatever.
Hmm.
That would be really really fun, but I don't think that will happen um, anytime soon. But I you know that's was like my my dream kind of.
Hmm.
But I'm really happy with what we got to be honest with the new format and for a long time as well I wanted to have like not always um, 4 times the same tournament. I mean, we have RWC, which is a bit different, but I think the way it's looking, I mean, I can. The survey results are out, right? Like, you guys know what was voted for. I think are they out? I hope so. Uh, yeah, they are. So you know, like a lot of people want this format of double elim, Swiss double elim, RWC, which is a which is like a good shakeup of formats, but also you have two double elims in there. But then a lot of people also, you know, wanted this sort of twist idea that I had for a really long time for the third RR of a year, which I think, which like then you really have four distinct RRs a year, and you have one RR in there, the summer RR, which always is like the one that the least people have time for. So it's also not as serious as the other ones maybe. And I'm really happy we could like can probably implement that and have like a twist there, because then we also have 1 hour in the year that just is a bit different. And we don't know which way yet, but I think that's gonna be really hype. That's one like the biggest thing I wanted for next year, and we're probably getting that. So Other than that, I don't really have anything on my wish list.
But yeah, I'm asking that question to everybody, but the most common response is just like yours, like, I'm okay with that set of rules, so I will not change anything. So I'm desperate to ask that question and to hear a different answer, but it's a rare occasion, unfortunately.
I mean, I think it's a good question because it's also kind of hard to think about something on the spot if you don't have anything in mind already. Like some people have something they really want, and then of course they will say that. But if you don't, it's really hard to come up with something. But I mean, of course, as the thing to think about. Uh, of course, it's unfortunate that you don't have many more different answers. But from an organizer's perspective, of course, that makes me quite happy that we finally worked out the rule set that works quite well for most people, and that doesn't leave a lot to be desired.
Okay, now speaking about the game itself, I want you to name me your best and the worst map as a speedrunner in Hitman, as a roulette player, and as a just casual player, because there was a time I believe that you just started playing and you're like, oh, this map
Absolutely.
kind of cool. So yeah, best and the worst as a speedrunner, as a roulette player, and as a casual player.
Yeah. Oh, I mean that's a difficult one because of course there's so many great and maps. But I do like how you phrase the question because I always like people often ask, like bickered about like, oh, this map is great, this map sucks, and I've always been a defender of the standpoint that um, Hitman maps like they have so many different facets that like some maps are great for this and some maps are great for this and some
Yeah.
maps are bad for this and this. So I think you really have to like if you talk about which maps are great and not so great, you do really have to think about it in categories. So I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, let's get started. Maybe we go chronologically because casually is like playing it casually is the first thing I did.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense to start with that. And I think, I mean, it's been so long ago, right? It's kind of hard to remember even. But I don't think it comes as a surprise. But the worst map as a casual was probably Colorado,
Yeah.
because that when you started playing that map was so hard. Like I could not fathom that map at all. I had to look up tutorials on how to SASO that and whatever. It was super tough. And I didn't really enjoy it at all because what I enjoy most about Hitman is the puzzle aspect, right? And you don't really have that.
Yeah.
If you don't have roulette, if you don't make a challenge yourself, it's not really that present on Colorado. So I think that was probably my least favorite. That or well, actually, it's probably like Colorado I played a few times at least. The maps I think I despise the most casually is Mumbai. I played that like once and never again because it's so big, it's so confusing. Everything looks the same. You get lost constantly. If you play casually, you have to search for the fucking maelstrom every time. And I played it on my first casual playthrough, and I was like, this just sucks. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, it definitely is Mumbai. And like it's, and then I started to like 100%ing the game, and I played every map besides Mumbai. I left that for last because I was like, I'm not touching this map. So yeah, worst map casually Mumbai for sure. Best map is more difficult because I enjoyed a lot of maps. Honestly, maybe for nostalgia purposes, it's just Paris. I think it might be, but no, probably it's Sapienza. Yeah, I think it is Sapienza. Sapienza just has those vibes about him, and it's like the map that I would, maybe spend time in just as that because I do really like everything about that map. Yeah, I do think yeah, I'm happy with that choice. I think For casual, I think it's Sapienza is my favorite and Mumbai my least favorite. Yeah. But we can move on. But what's the next what was the other categories you asked for?
You said it as a casual, now as a speedrunner and as a roulette player.
Right. As a speedrunner is tough because, as I said, I never really saw myself as a speedrunner. And I don't really like, because there's a lot more speedrunners now, but it's a different era because these people are like, I would say, like real speedrunners. Back then, like in 2020 and 2021, it was mostly Frody and me, and we were like just making up strats, you know. Like nowadays, people run all the same strats kind of, but we just made up our own stuff, which was very fun, by the way. I like that's the thing enjoy about Hitman the most. It's like coming up with strats, so it was very fun. But which is also why I'm not really a speedrunner anymore. I don't really enjoy the execution part of it, but the creative part of it. But so that's kind of hard to say for me. Maybe if I can answer it in a slightly different way, because what I didn't actually speedrun the main missions all that much. What I did a lot more back then was playing contracts, right? Speedrunning contracts, kind of. And for that, I definitely have my picks for sure. Because I would say like my favorite contract map has always been New York, interestingly. Which is, you know, seems quite weird because it's so small and like kind of restricted. But and I may be biased because like there was this, I think the contract to date that I enjoyed playing the most or grinding the most was like a speedrun competition contract. I don't know which one, like SC5 or something. Back then it was always 3 contracts, and one of them was in New York, and I that was the one I got the best time on, and not on anyone else, not on any other contract, but I enjoyed that one so much. I can't explain you why, but I think it's a great contract map, to be honest. I think that map lends itself to it very well. And worst contract map, or you know, for like contracts, Santa Fortuna, I would say. I mean, I hate that map anyway, but I do think for contracts especially, it's quite bad. So probably those. If you do want to know about my like main mission speedrunning, I'd have to think about it for a bit because I'm not really all that sure.
I mean, I'm glad with that answer that you gave me. So.
Good.
Yeah.
I think it's a yeah, definitely. I think it's captured the spirit of the category anyway.
Yeah.
But
and now
last one. So roulette, yeah. Roulette. I mean, that's, you know, the way I spend most of my time in Hitman, playing the game. So, and this is of course, you know, I don't think I'm giving too much away here because it's it is of course quite known and with the stats and everything.
Yeah.
But this did of course very much change throughout my career because, like, you know, it's been 6 years. Of course it changed. Like at the start I hated Haven, and then I had like 2 years where Haven was my favorite map, and now it kind of melted out again. So like there's, you know, some maps come and go. But I think I have to answer this question right now, and right now, I mean, what are the candidates even? It's also Sapienza, because I like Sapienza is the map I'm most comfortable on in roulette. Like, you can wake me up at 3 a.m. And give me a Sapienza spin, and I'll bang you out a good time. That's like the only map I can do that on, really. I'm really, really comfortable on that one. But it is more easy. But like my favorite maps at the moment, I mean, I can just make a quick list for you. Like, what are my favorite maps to play in roulette at the moment? It's like Sapienza, Bangkok with all the new stuff, Colorado is really fun always. Miami I also really enjoy. What else? Mendoza I really like. And Berlin. Yeah, I think it's between those 6 for sure. If I had to pick just one favorite, I think it would be Um, I think I'm torn between Berlin and Sapienza, but I think it has to be Berlin. I think the creativity you can have on that and like the replayability is just so much higher than for every other map because like you have these blueprints and I'm happy to play like if some maps have simple blueprints, I'm happy to play those in a tournament, but especially if you play like just roulette just as is, Berlin is the most fun because there's so many things you can do.
Yeah.
And you have to think really hard about the solution. And I really enjoy that. So I do think Berlin is my favorite roulette map, yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, my least favorite should be easy probably. But I mean also that changes, right?
Mhm.
There's been a lot of different ones that I, have grown to enjoy. Like even Santa Fortuna, which is always my most hated map, just because as I said, I don't really like Mumbai and Santa Fortuna,
Mhm.
just generally, because I think Mumbai is just way too big and doesn't really have a lot going on. But I think like if you ask me outside of categories, if you ask me overall, Santa Fortuna would be my most hated map, because I think it's terribly designed. Like they have this big, unimpenetrable fortress in the middle, and then you have to go all these ways around. There's like only one way to go around. And yes, there are the caves, that's true. But they're so hard to access, and I just think there's some major, major design flaws in that map,
Mm.
sadly. And it feels like they've stretched it by like 50%. If they shrunk all the way down, like all the path between the areas down a little, I think it would be a much better map. But I do now see like I mean, I still don't like playing it, but I see that it's a quite good roulette map. That there's a lot of strat variety and whatever, so there's merit in it as a roulette map. So I wouldn't say it's my least favorite roulette map. It probably not even Mumbai either. I've also grown to enjoying that. Like honestly, I always had like a map that I didn't really like, but by now I like most of them. Probably the one I like the least still is Ambrose. Yeah, because I
Wow.
never really got warm with it. I don't think it's super interesting. It doesn't really have a lot going on. Um, so yeah, probably Red Rise. It's Berlin is my favorite and Ambrose my least favorite.
Wow, I was not expecting that from you because Ambrose Hate is overrated. But yeah, okay. Never mind.
Oops.
uh,
Well, sorry to disappoint.
and now to the Blitz. So I will ask you quick questions. The answer might be in just quick as the question, but it's up to you. You can take your time to answer this, but just rapid, quick questions.
Lightning round. Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Hit me.
all right. Favorite movie?
Movie. Interstellar. I think it's a fantastic movie.
Mm,
Great story. Great music. All around lovely. Actually, um, 'cause I know it's a lightning round, but it's a hard question for me because like in the last 5 years, I really like Interstellar. But also, like from a like cultural aspect, like for my whole childhood, my favorite movies was The Blues Brothers. I don't know if you
mm.
know that one.
Yeah, I
It's a
heard.
classic.
Yeah.
I think actually that might still actually now that I think about it, I might even still like that more because it's just such a has a nostalgic aspect for me. I watched that like on every time on my birthday and whatever. So probably Blues Brothers, yeah.
All right, interesting answer. Favorite series? It might be TV series or web series, whatever.
Uh, I haven't watched a lot of uh, like TV series recently,
Mhm.
but I did a few years ago, and I think my favorite is still White Collar. I don't know if you
Mm,
know it.
never heard of it.
Um, Fantastic series. It's like about I always like these series, watching these series where they have like a crime thing, where have like one each episode they solve like a different crime or whatever.
Mm,
I really like those, and I think it's about like a former like a
mm,
con man who gets recruited by the FBI, and it has so much passion in it, and it's so well done and funny. Yeah, I really enjoy that. So White Collar is my favorite series, I think, of all time. Yeah.
All right. Favorite is sorry. A favorite place to go.
Mm.
It might be country,
Interesting
it
one.
might be city, it might be just some cafe or restaurant, something that you never been but you would like to go.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I
Yeah, yeah,
thought you were
yeah.
asking me about like my favorite place to go, like at the moment.
Yeah, I'm
Not.
just butchered. Yeah, but yeah, the place that you never been there, but you wanted to go, like the favorite.
Yeah. Where would I love to go? It's a great question because I've been fortunate enough to have already been in a lot of places.
Hmm.
Um, but I do think I would love to go to New Zealand. I think
Ooh.
it's really beautiful, and but it's so far, sadly. But at some point, I would love to go there.
Oh wow, interesting. Favorite dish.
Uh, has to be some kind of pasta. I love pasta. Love Italian cuisine in general, but I could eat just pasta and I would be never get bored of it. um, so yeah, I think it's like honestly like real a classic pasta with a really good slow cooked tomato sauce.
Okay, and the favorite drink.
That's interesting because I never really think about that because I I am really passionate about food. I love cooking. I love eating.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't really like besides different from my parents maybe or especially my father who like doesn't really care all that much about food, but he really cares about like drinks. I'm not that much into drinks. I mostly drink water. But uh, I of course, especially in summer as well, I do love like to have a drink in a restaurant or in a bar or something.
Hmm.
And then it's mostly Aperol Spritz. I really do
Ooh.
love my Aperol Spritz.
Hmm.
So that's my favorite drink, I think. Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay. And now we go into the last two questions because unfortunately we can't just talk all night long, especially with Yannini having a match against Magic Dave, and Magic Dave just ended his match with Afro, so I will try not to, hold you down any longer. But we're going to the last two questions that I'm always asking everybody. The first question is of those two, what is your greatest achievement as a Hitman player?
Wow. Greatest achievement. That's something I did once think about, but I'm not really sure. I mean, it has to be, I think, like just like a self fulfillment thing. It
Mm.
has to be the SGQ run because getting people, you know, getting to do that is such a great honor and was such a great experience that uh, yeah, I'll cherish that for sure. Like, I mean, there's been a lot of things in Hitman, there's a lot of different challenges where I've been really proud after I completed them and been really happy that I did that. Um, but then again, I do really think that like I've been really happy about my roulette titles even more than the run maybe. Like if I won an RWC title, it would be an easy question because I would just say my RWC title.
Mhm.
But I don't have one, um,
Yet.
and I do think it's something yet, and it's something that's a lot more special than I think um, a normal R title, even though those are great as well. Mm, it's such, I love that question because it can be answered in so many like in so many
Yep.
different ways.
Yep.
Because yes, I think the SGQ one is a great achievement. Yes, I think my 3 titles are a great achievement. But um, honestly, the thing I'm overall happy about the most is, or like being proud of the most is like for 5 years or something now, or 4.5 years or something, being involved with like organizing these events and keeping like keeping this thing this community, like being a part of keeping that alive for so long, and having this space where we all come together and actually have built a great community. I think that's my the achievement that I'm most proud of.
Mhm. And the last question, that kind of similar, but what is your greatest achievement as a human being?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. I mean, that is the last question as a heavy hitter.
Yep.
I can't lie. Um. Well, I. I mean, there's even more angles, of course, because there's so many things you do in life. There's very many angles to attack that. I don't think I have like a achievement that really stands out to me. I have a lot of like I'm passionate about a lot of things. I have a lot of things I'm happy about that I did. Um, but there are like so varied and more small achievements that all add up. But there's nothing really that stands out. I think because achievement says that like you've done something
Mm-hmm.
to get something, and I don't think I've really have anything there that really I'm that insanely proud of. Because of course not like there's a lot of life ahead of us, ahead of me, and like from a job perspective, I'm still studying to complete my bachelor's, but that's not the end of that. So that's hard to say. And then family wise, I really do love my family. I think I'm uh, I'm really happy that I can spend a lot of time with my family, especially with my sister. And like being always there for them, I think is something that's really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's something that I cherish a lot. Um, but just generally, I think what I am most happy about in my life is always trying to be uh, being nice to people and being making to everyone you talk to, everyone you interact with, to make their day a little bit better. Um, is something that I've been told I can do quite well, and I think I'm really proud of that.
Humble answer, humble answer. I can tell you that. But yeah, unfortunately, anything good in this world should end at some time, and our podcast will end in a few short moments. But before that, I wanna show my gratitude to you. Say thank you for joining in and being an amazing guest. That was great talk. And we are up to your match. Actually, that's kind of interesting because earlier this day I played against you. Now we just doing a podcast, and I want to cast your match against Dave. So it's kind of full circle for me.
It's really coming full circle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's nice.
So yeah, thank you for joining in.
Yeah, no, I mean, thank you so much for having me. I think it's been a great talk. I've enjoyed it a lot, even though I talked a lot more. But
That's
that's
that's the purpose. That's the purpose.
yeah, that's I mean, it is kind of an interview, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's fine. But no, I really enjoyed being on here. I think it's been a great talk. The hour kind of flew by.
Hmm.
There's so many things to talk about, but so little time.
Yep.
And yeah, if you ever want to do this again, you know where to find me.
Yeah, sure, why not? And yeah, I would like to wish you good luck in your match against Magic Dave.
Thank you very much.
Mm,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, thank you for joining. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining in. There's not a lot of us, but that's okay because the purpose of this to let people speak, and you need just did that. So yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Yannini, and see you around in a few minutes when I will restart my stream and probably will try to cast the match between Yannini and Magic Dave. So goodbye.